Hello. I'm Gretchen.
And I'm Dave.
Did we fool you?
And today we're twinsing.
We are indeed.
Completely uncoordinated.
I think it was all that talk about last week, wearing red, being able to wear red again.
I think it was just on our minds. You know, we missed the color red.
We did indeed.
We truly did.
Nice.
And it looks so good against the green of Orctober.
It does.
So.
Delightful. That was good. I like that. Nice one. Yeah. So what are we painting tonight?
We are painting some orcs.
We are indeed. We're painting orcs. From the Epic Encounters box, Hall of the Orc King. We've painted some models from this before, back in the old studio.
Yeah.
If you open up the box, it has your old mini painted.
Oh, really?
Dave. Yeah, because I
If
just
you
kept
open
him
up
in
the
there.
box, you're in store for a surprise. A blast from the past.
Oh yeah, there we go. This is the so this guy is the Orc King. Hooray!
Well, now he can truly be a king. He'll have people to...
Yeah, he'll have folks that he can rule over.
Yeah.
What are they called? They're called minions, yeah? Subjects, I guess.
Well, he's an orc. It's probably a little bit back and forth of which one, really.
Excellent. There we go. Epic Encounters, Hall of the Orc King from Steamforged Games. And if I flip it like this, you can see the back.
Yeah, I think I put it upside down.
Right. This,
I don't know why.
how many does this one have? This one has 20 miniatures. It's a good deal. So I think Steamforged are up to like 6 or 8 of the Epic Encounters boxes now,
Yeah, we have,
which is pretty cool.
the new one.
Oh, we do have the new one? Oh. Oh, very exciting.
There's a thing. It's still in the plastic wrap.
Yeah. And there's
Temple of the Snake God.
there's one for you too.
Oh, there's
So, like-
another box?
Yeah, but we're not painting them this week.
Not this week. We're not painting these.
No.
We're painting stuff from this one.
That's obviously a November Thanksgiving themed
Snake?
snake.
Yeah. Snakes for sure.
So, you know,
Oh, this one has a giant snake miniature in it.
that sounds really fun to paint. I'm excited for that. I used to have a
Very
pet
cool.
corn snake.
Fun? All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Are you gonna paint it like a corn snake?
I might.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what this one has. It has a giant snake miniature. 18 tokens, double-sided game mat, adventure book, monster stats. So really, it is just the temple of the snake god. Very cool. Looks great. That must be a big miniature. That box is huge. Oh yeah, there we go. So, let me say hi to everybody who is in the chat. Unfortunately, we can't see the chat.
Oh no.
What?
It says the chat is waiting for new messages.
So either no one's there and we're all alone.
All
Should be
alone.
sad. Be a crazy coinkydink if we were just talking to ourselves
If
the
we
whole
were the
time.
only ones, it would be amazing.
That's sad.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing, incredibly sad. No, not incredibly sad. It'd be just fine. Just fine.
Absolutely amazing and incredibly sad. Sounds like a book.
Two books in a series.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
5 minutes in the life of.
All right.
Absolutely amazing and incredibly sad. Welcome to my story.
Awesome.
They should pop up. They should pop up now.
Momentarily.
But we have JT, Jason, Betsy,
They
identical
do love
twins.
us. They are here.
Ashlyn, James, Jason, and Tim.
Excellent.
Hello, hello.
everyone.
Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody.
Yes, Jason says, happy to see we came online.
Yes.
Yes, you might notice our little delay. Leona forgot that Twitch had like a little leak. So I had to reconnect Twitch. And then I had to get a code.
A code as well.
Yeah, that's why it was taking me a while. Because I had to get a code from an email. So,
Right.
We're here now.
Now we're here, and we're safe. Oh, look, Betsy is there.
Yep.
All the usual suspects.
Friends.
I'll just trust your word.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
No, yeah. It is the usual.
That's right.
Good to see everyone.
It's good to have usuals.
Yep. It's like Cheers
It is.
without the booze.
I don't know. They're at home. They could have booze if they wanted.
They might, but we don't.
Not even
That's-
on the Late Late Show.
Not even on the Late Late Show.
I'll
The
change
evening
the
edition.
camera angle.
But yes. So we've got started. So I'm painting well, this guy and this guy. Why did I pick 2 miniatures? Because I'm a glutton for punishment.
I'm painting one miniature.
Good choice. Oh, you're painting the cook. aren't
I'm
you?
painting the cook because he has a fanny pack full of soup.
Sweet.
And that was
That's awesome.
I was like, that's it. I want that for myself. It's boiling and yet there's no fire. I mean, either that or that's chunks in there, but they're perfectly cylindrical, so I'm gonna say it's boiling. Not sure. But I wish I had a fanny pack full of soup. Belt soup.
Belt soup.
Fanny pack soup.
Fanny pack soup. That sounds a little bit disturbing. Disturbing.
Can you imagine just be like sitting there and you just not his.
Well, in a thermos.
Not his.
Not his. His is slopping around. And
His is just it's just like it's just a you'll see it when I paint it it'll come to but it's a cauldron strapped to his belt.
Should I read to you of the cooking pot?
Oh yes.
The cooking pot.
Tell me about the fanny soup.
On the other side of the hall, directly opposite the barrels, there's a large open fire. The fire is made from wood and peat, burning fiercely. Some of the orcs who have become as much ice as flesh shy away from it, but most seem unconcerned. On top of the fire is a huge cauldron, bubbling and roiling. The cauldron itself is made of thick black pewter and is emblazoned with various dwarven designs. The orcs plainly liberated the pot from a dwarven hold they plundered at some point in the past. Alongside the pot, 2 Grimfang orc cooks work. They each have large cleavers and meat saws used to hack the various ingredients into edible lumps. This is the extent of their food preparation. Chop it up and throw it in the pot. They have a large range of cadavers in front of them, piled up on large wooden tables. Headless eel corpses, a sliced up wolf, a number of rabbits, and what looks like most of a yeti are all laden on the table in various stages of dismemberment. Drawing too close to the cooking pot is a risky move. The stench rising from it means that anyone within 5 feet of it has to succeed a constitution saving throw or be overwhelmed with nausea and take standard poison damage.
I love this soup pot.
Any player within 15 feet of the pot makes all tests at disadvantage, as the unbelievable stench permeates their nostrils.
I like that the stench is like a barrier.
Yeah.
Love
Yep.
me some belt soup.
Being pushed into the pot is even worse. A player character can try to force an orc on foot into the pot, but naturally the orcs can do the same to the player characters. Any creature within 5 feet of both the pot and another creature can hurl the other creature in with a successful opposed strength check. The foul stew clings to the skin and inflicts standard acid damage per turn. Clambering out of the pot requires a standard DC dexterity check. Or I guess that's a standard dexterity check.
Delicious.
The orc chefs are similarly nasty opponents. If they see the player characters, they immediately attack, wielding an enormous meat saw in one hand, and with the other, grabbing the first large wedge of meat they can find. As a bonus action, each orc cook can roll on the following table and make a free attack with the improvised weapon. Caucasian flesh. Kind of look on the inside. So I think we're just going to switch it up a little bit. What color are you going for?
I'm going for some kind of muted greens, and then I'm
Okay.
going to add a little bit of rosy to the cheeks and nose and whatnot.
Okay, cool. That'll look fun.
Yeah.
Very cool. What have we got? Hello, Brontonaut. Ashton says that would be a whole new show. If we had the booze, it would. It would be totally different. Totally different.
Different quality of painting, I think.
It might be better.
I think we wouldn't be as concerned. He's asked, what scale are these miniatures? They are They're kind of big. They're probably in the 28 to 32 kind of range. Probably leaning towards the 32 kind of range. The fanny pack of warming. And Sean says he's a line cook for the bistro, obviously.
Yes.
Yep.
We need to put those pictures up. I do have them, by the way. I think Leona put up some of them.
Yeah, in the group.
Yeah.
Yep. Jason said, doesn't pewter have lead in it? Yeah, it does. A little bit.
That's fine.
Little bit.
That's healthy.
It's healthy.
Yep, definitely healthy food.
That has stench.
The stench.
The
stenchy
stench is part of the
Deadly stench.
Just
food. It counters the impact of the lead.
yeah. It's good stench.
It's good for you.
It's like garlic or balsamic vinegar.
I had some balsamic vinegar tonight.
So did I. Wow, we really are twins.
We are twins. This is amazing.
We're on the same level.
Awesome. Jason James says, story time with Dave. I just need some hot chocolate and to be bundled in bed. Oh, that's nice. Oh, Jason's stream's breaking up a bit on Twitch.
Yeah, I don't know what about that was about, but
You're breaking up a bit. Tell us another one, Papa. I think during the evening I will read another story.
You should do it.
I could choose the fighting pit. Oh, that could be fun. I'll come back to that one. Actually, I'll do the fighting pit because I've got the gladiator and the this other dude. What's his name?
yeah. So who else is painting? Who else is painting?
Who else is painting
an orc tonight?
Let us know what you are painting.
Specifically, if you're painting an orc, I want to see if people joined us.
People are joining
in
us.
In Orctober, which I was inspired by Ashlyn.
Yep.
Ashlyn posted about it.
Ashlyn's work on her old school orc from the 80s, I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
Cool. Did it make it into the minis that we'll look at tonight?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
I can pull it real quick.
That could be cool.
Okay, I
That'd
will.
be a good idea.
Tim says Betsy and I are painting Lord of the Rings orcs.
Oh, cool. Excellent.
I did see that you had prepped that, Betsy. Ashlyn is painting an orc.
And chain rasps. Excellent.
Ooh.
We've painted some of those in the past. They're the ghosts from the Night Haunt army.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a whole box of those. I didn't realize. We can paint up some night haunts if we want.
I'm sure that'd be on the cards before Halloween.
JT says, I'm not painting an orc, sadly, but I'm painting something spooky and monolithic.
Ooh, spooky monolith. A big, scary rock.
A scary rock?
Well, monolithic.
Can't monolithic just mean like...
Well, monolithic, like it's. I mean, it's meant to be like big, massive, like
Yeah.
bigger than big. But a monolith is a single large stone.
Yeah.
I think so. Uluru in Australia, in the center of Australia, is a monolith. It's an enormous iceberg of a rock. So, that kind of thing. Oh, Jason says, my box of opportunity has an orc on a direwolf, but it's so far down I got a paper cut from the packaging of others, and I still couldn't find it. Oh, that's a shame. Sean has a bunch of cruel boys, but hasn't started on them yet. Oh, they're not assembled. Had a little painting hobby hangout with a couple of friends of mine on was it Monday night? Tuesday night?
That's fun.
Tuesday night, I think it was.
How'd
Yeah,
that
which
go?
was cool.
Said, how'd that go?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, it went well. My friend Brian is painting up some Stormcast models, Stormcast Eternals from Games Workshop, and my friend Sam is painting up some Cruel Boys. So he was working on some Gut Rippers, because they have the best names. So that was good. I worked on some of my Gaunt's Ghosts, my Tanith Imperial Guardsmen. But that's where I got the idea for the skin, because I'm doing camouflage cloaks on them.
That's a good idea.
And following a kind of like a green recipe of from Games Workshop. It comes out quite vibrant. So I thought, this could be fun. Fun to mess around with it.
I'm gonna go with a reddish kind of leather for his shirt because I think it'll look good against his green.
Oh, neat. Yep, that face is looking cool. Very nice. So what else we got? But Sean is painting Imperial Navy Marauders from Aeronautica Imperialis. These guys have got a lot of, or at least this guy's got a lot of wrappings. And so I almost painted the wrappings green as well around his hands. But got myself just in time.
You all may notice Gretchen has a wet palette now.
Woot!
And if you didn't notice, notice now.
Notice.
I do. I have a wet palette now. I feel like a fancy painter.
I'm going to zoom out just so you can see it, because I'm very proud of it.
It's very cool. Where is the wet palette from?
The wet palette's actually from Army Painter,
Yep. Cool.
and it has a little cover, and there's like this cute little wrap thing.
There's the lid and
What is
the
that?
strap to keep
Yeah,
it
the
together. And what's the paper there?
Underneath
and
the
there's
paper,
actually
there's
No,
some
no, no.
foam.
No, the,
Oh, this bit?
yeah,
the
underneath
cover
the-
bit?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
actually
so you
like a
can
little
hold things like
palette.
paintbrushes.
Yeah. It's pretty neat.
It has a whole
I quite like it.
boodle of things.
Excellent.
So hopefully Gretchen doesn't have to keep putting paint on her paper.
Right.
No, I've actually been really impressed with it so far. I'm like, wow.
Thank you, Sean. Sean's like, ooh, ah. I appreciate it. I was very proud because it's been a long time coming.
Yeah. That's good. I received a box today in the mail from the Army Painter,
Cool.
which I might bring some of that stuff in next week to show off. But it's the there's 2 boxes of their new air paints. So paints that are especially formulated for airbrushing, which is pretty cool.
Which you don't do.
No, I do some airbrushing. I don't do a lot of airbrushing.
Do either of you want paint handles?
Ooh, that's probably a good idea.
Okay.
So yes, that'd be a yes,
I
please.
forgot to put them out.
Okay. But I figured that I should use them first before I brought them in and talked about them. I think it would be a good idea. But
So will we finally get to see some airbrushed Dave?
airbrush work?
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah.
Are they the big ones or the?
No, just the regular size ones. If we have, do we have multiples of the regular, or do we only have the bigs?
Well, we only have this one, that one,
Okay.
small one, but I think Gretchen's might actually. Will yours
Somewhere?
fit? Will yours fit on that one or
No.
No. Did you want them?
Teeny. No, I'm good.
You good? Okay. In that case.
I even cleaned up all of our stuff, and I still didn't find the second one. So
Right.
that's unfortunate.
Leona's been doing a lot of cleaning up around the around the studio. Because there's more people are going to be using it. More. Which is crazy. Okay. So I picked this guy as well because he's got a lot of bear skin. Not the skin of a bear, but
Maybe. You don't know what that leather's made out of.
That's true. That's true. But exposed flesh. Well, that sounds like he's been flayed alive, but exposed skin. There we go. So I figured I'd be able to show off this color quite well on him. But he also has some wrappings and different bits and pieces, so it might not be as exposed as I thought initially. But there we go. So apart from getting glasses, Gretchen, have you been up to anything fun this week?
Oh, yes, actually.
Yes? Nice. That's good. Good to hear.
I forgot. And then I remembered. But I'm gonna be filming a horror movie tomorrow and Saturday.
Oh, really? Very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. What's the...
So
are we allowed to know the story behind this one?
they have a pitch trailer out. I actually filmed with their pitch trailer for them. It's the same production company that did Bloody Summer Camp. They're making a new film called Go Away.
Cool.
And I'm going to be in that one.
Excellent.
As well. So, yeah, I get to film tomorrow. It's a fun little slasher premise. Slasher? I don't know if I would put it under slash. I mean, they're slashing, but it's not.
It's not purely slasher.
Yeah, it's kind of like an interesting setup between like home invasion and some twists and turns within that.
Okay.
Where they the kind of antagonists that show up to be the home invaders end up invading the wrong house of someone who's an ex-serial killer.
Okay.
And then you have the people who are kind of caught up in between that cat and mouse scenario. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how it all plays out and goes together. I'm trying to think of like what definitely was released in the pitch trailer. I don't want to Tom Holland the spoilers.
No, I think that'd be great. You should totally Tom Holland it.
They pulled a Marvel for Bloody Summer Camp. They ended up having an alternate ending. And I wasn't at the original premiere, so I didn't know. And the entire cast kept it from me.
Right.
And then at the premiere I was able to go to, it was revealed.
Right.
And I was like, oh, wow, you guys did a really good job at not telling me anything.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Very much so. They did a great job. So yeah, getting into the Halloween spirit, the Halloween vibe.
Cool.
That's what we're doing by going be in another independent horror film.
Excellent.
That'd bring my total up to 3.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is excellent.
That just keeps happening. I don't know what's up with that. That's
See, normally before the show we'll have a quick chat. We'll find out what we've done and we can ask leading questions. I did not know any of that. That is super cool.
I'm also really bad about being like, here's this thing that people should support that I do. Dave will be like, isn't that something that you can like talk about? And I'll be like, I guess so.
Yeah, come on.
I don't find anything I do things, but
Yep. But you don't think that other people will find them interesting?
I don't. And then I'm like, like it's probably not accurate. But yeah, and then hopefully there'll be some tournaments coming up soon.
Cool.
Um,
Have you been practicing?
I have been to a few practices. I probably have not been practicing enough.
Right.
I'm sure my club would be like, no.
Please don't.
But yeah,
Cool.
I'm getting back into practice.
That's good.
I wouldn't put myself at like tournament capabilities just yet.
Okay.
I don't feel like I'm back at tournament level. I feel like I am at pandemic level.
Okay. Do you feel like you're at tournament watching level?
Oh, definitely.
Excellent.
That's happening for sure. That's
Cool. That's good. Very cool. So I just realized I forgot to paint his legs. And let me see if I can do it on camera. That would be even better, wouldn't it? What have we got? Oh, Jason says the wet palette is very nice and it beats my old Chinese food lid with paper towel. Yeah. There definitely are lots of different ways that you can do it. And I definitely like the pre-purchased approach. The no-brainer approach for wet palettes. Yeah. Okay. So what colors are you mixing there for your skin?
so I am using
So you
primarily.
got some wild colors on there. Wild.
I'm using mostly khaki with a little bit of grotto slime and some World War II green.
Okay.
Field gray.
So, pretty decent mix of
Yeah.
types of greens.
I kind of wanted a very desaturated green
Right.
without losing the greenness to it.
Okay.
But I wanted it desaturated enough to when I added a little bit of that rusty red color for kind of blushed effect.
Right.
Make it look like he's been working or doing stuff and actually fighting and working hard. That it wouldn't look too unnatural, I guess.
Okay.
I'll come up with words that fit what I'm.
For what you're doing?
Yeah.
Cool. That's good. Oh, for the you said I would prefer a purchase to crossing his fingers for the giveaway. Ooh, that's true. Is there a wet palette in the giveaway?
Yep.
Yes.
Ooh.
So that's the
So-
two.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Go for it, Leona.
That giveaway that Jason's talking about is you can find that in our group. Most people watching have already entered it, but you can go to Painting Happy Little Minis on Facebook, look at the announcements, and then you'll find the giveaway there. And it's all mini painting supplies. So there's a wet palette, paintbrushes, some green stuff, or epoxy,
Yep.
glue, and a knife. But like,
And just a knife, just thrown in there for good measure. Just
one of Leona's butter knives from home.
yeah, what do they call that?
It's been well used.
A hobby knife, I guess that's the way to say that.
Yep. Cool.
But yeah, that's what people voted for when I put out a little thing. So
Little poll.
Yeah, a little poll. Overwhelmingly, people said they wanted mini painting supplies. So there
That's
we
cool.
go.
I thought you were going to be like, overwhelmingly, everyone was like, give me a knife. That was-
Everybody wanted knives.
And everybody wanted knives.
Knives.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's to celebrate over 2,000 group members,
Yeah, that's very
which
cool.
is really cool.
It is. Just spin him around there. Cool. So what this green that I've been talking about is using one of Citadel colors. So it's a base of Castellan green, which is it's a desaturated kind of olivey green, but it's not too olive. There's not too much yellow in it, which is pretty neat. So we've got that. Then I give it a wash of Athonian Camo Shade from the shade range. And again, this is like a desaturated with a little hint of yellow in it. So I'll give it a wash of that. Once that wash is dry, I'll come back with the Castellan Green, and then a mix of Castellan Green and Elysian Green, which does have a lot of yellow in it. And then highlight up to Elysian Green, and maybe mix in a little bit of Ivory, which will be fun.
I think your green is actually going to be more colorful than my green this time.
It might be. But I didn't mix it myself.
Fair.
So I think that's okay. But I had to go with red as well for the clothing, so that we could have twin models too. There we go. Jason said green stuff is like gold right now. It's so hard to find in stock. Oh, okay. Is that at your local, from the local game store? I must admit, I haven't paid a lot of attention to green stuff recently. But if there are a lot of supply issues and situations going on around the world, so hopefully green stuff or Neatertite aren't impacted for too long. There we go. Quick highlights there. But very cool. Okay. So I mentioned I was going to tell a story earlier. Gretchen was a little bit worried tonight that she wasn't going to make it on time because a wonderful USPS driver
I got trapped.
had parked her in and abandoned his vehicle. We say abandoned the vehicle, but really just gone to deliver some mail along the street and probably maybe around the block.
I think around the block because I didn't see him. But it's also like a bunch of apartment complexes too because he was probably in a building.
Oh, all right, okay. Yep.
But left me for 20 minutes trapped in my own driveway lane.
So, and that can be, I know that can be super, super stressful. Super stressful. There was one time when I was probably, what would it have been? 97, 98. And I was living in Sydney. And one weekend I was running a tournament, wargaming tournament at a convention called Moab, the Mother of All Battles. And I'd been down there early on the Saturday and got everything set up and ran the event for the Saturday. And then came home and tried to get some sleep, but my roommates decided that would be a good night to come home late with a lot of other people and have a bit of a party in the front room. So I had trouble sleeping And then when I got to go back to the tournament on the Sunday, when I say tournament, there's probably like 60 or 70 people we were playing. I discovered that one of their friends had parked his truck behind my car to the point where it was really close. It was maybe like this far apart. So
That's not good.
And in front of me was a basically it was like a tap, like a water tap. I couldn't go very far forward, and I couldn't get very far back, so I couldn't work my way out from the space, the parking space. But so he'd parked there, and you might be thinking, oh, well, you just go and wake him up, get him to move his car. But no, he'd chosen to, probably sensibly, because he'd been quite drunk, chosen to get a taxi home.
Oh no.
And of course, got a taxi home with his keys in his pocket. So we didn't have any keys. They couldn't sort of get him on the phone, and even if they could have, he was like an hour away. And I had to drive like 45 minutes to get to the tournament. And at that time, I didn't have a cell phone, so there was nobody not many people had cell phones, so there was nobody I could call to say, hey, I'm going to be like an hour or two late.
Dang.
So we tried all sorts of things, even to the point of like
Push the car.
bouncing the car,
Yeah.
getting it to bounce. But we couldn't bounce it out of the way, unfortunately. So in the end, I had to get a tire iron and break one of the windows. And this guy's friends were not too happy with me. They felt there were more things I could have done to get it out of the way.
That's crazy
Yeah.
and unfortunate. And honestly, I don't think there was more that you could have done.
No, there wasn't.
You-
As I was leaving, I reached over and handed them like $100 and said, "Here you go. Give this to your friend to get his
You
window
could have
fixed."
gotten a taxi too with that $100.
Quite possibly, but that wasn't. I think by that point, it wasn't the point.
Yeah.
Like somebody had done something silly, so I had to follow it up by doing something sillier. But it was the little window. Like some vehicles have, like, there's the main window, and then there's a little window at the front. That
Oh, it
pivots.
was that one?
It was that one.
That's like
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. But for people who are hungover on a Sunday morning,
Ah,
it was something. So
gotcha. Okay.
yeah. So when you sent that message, it was like, oh man, I know just how you feel.
I had several people who were trying so hard to get me to just try to. There was a tiny little space to the left of it. They're like, just drive through it. And I was like, I just got the glasses because the optometrist was like, you have horrible depth perception due to your tense eyes. It's like, is this? I'm stressed right now. My eyes are probably tenser. This is
Yep.
not a time to test that. They're like, you can do it. And I was like, I've literally, like, the reason I went to the optometrist was because in the past 2 years, I have slightly dinged and nicked cars from misjudging distance.
Yeah. And you just know that there'd be a point where you go, I think I've got it. And you,
Yes,
like, your
that's
foot would
what
slip on the gas
happens.
and you just go,
Yeah, and I would feel so bad because no one ever believes me. The past, like, 2 times that it has happened has been because people are like, you're just exaggerating.
yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Nope. No
Not.
exaggeration.
And then, of course, like, the people get angry, and I'm like, you told me to go.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that he came back and you were able to get out without smashing windows or grinding cars. Grinding cars are not fun. Not fun. There we go. So going with a kind of little desaturated red. It's still Still pretty rich, pretty vibrant there. I think it's time to jump back in on the flesh. Oh, Timothy Bow has asked, do you think that muscle relaxers would help your tense eyes?
I don't know. I know that I have used them for my tense back. I don't know if they would help the tense eyes, to be honest. The tense eyes thing was really weird to find out. Because other than that, my eyes they're not actually that bad. Like, there's not a strong prescription on these glasses. The prescription is like used to trick my eyes into being able to change focuses. Because the way the doctor described it, she was like, your eyes are like, no. And we want my eyes to be like, yes, so that I can see at night.
Right. But mind you, muscle relaxers. I've heard they're quite good. If you don't need to be driving anywhere or operating heavy machinery. But excellent. Josh Potter says, greetings from a place called work. Also new eyeglasses issues. I feel your pain, Gretchen. Welcome to the club. Oh, Ashley says, I hit my parking garage pylons all the time. Yeah, I've done it once or twice.
I think the worst that I've done, there's two things which really made me be like, maybe I should see a doctor.
Right.
One was, it was really early in the morning, and I was borrowing my sister's car. And at the time, we lived in an apartment complex that had a automatic gate.
Oh,
like
okay.
iron gate that would open up.
Yep.
And I thought I was clear of the iron gate, but I was not.
Oh, and it closed?
And no, I just
Oh.
went into it, and it just like sliced the entire like right side of the car again by like 2 inches, like.
Right. Yep.
But it knocked the side mirror off, and it gouged into the passenger door. It had to be replaced, and I had to call my sister and be like, I'm sorry. And she's like, how can you not see that? And I'm like,
I could totally see it. It was just 2 inches to the left. That's all I'm going to say.
And then the other time, I had to drive a big van, and I told them that I didn't want to drive the van. I told them it was for my sister's, her partner's, like, wedding planning company.
Right.
They're like, drive this van to this location. And I was like, I don't want to drive the van to the location. They're like, drive it. And I was like, I'm telling you that I'm not comfortable
This will not end well.
in my abilities because I don't know the measurements of that car. I'm not used to it, and I've been having these issues. And they're like, you're just being silly. And so I drove the van, and I tried to make a sharp, like, turn. It was a very windy, like, parking garage.
Oh, okay.
And there were other cars because it was all, like, delivery cars. And the guy, like, waved me through, and he was like, you have plenty of space. And I was like, I don't think I got plenty of space. And he's like, you do. And I was like, okay. And I scraped the entire side of it, and I felt really bad. My little brother was in the car with me, too. I was like, I don't know. I told them no. I warned everyone. Why am I like the Cassandra of cars?
You're just being silly.
I'm just being silly. I don't know my own eyeballs. I'm just...
Yeah. I think that's the first time. That's when you really should be listening to people when they say, I don't think I should. When it comes to, like, operating heavy machinery, I don't think I should.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't then. That's okay.
No, I was never asked to drive again after that.
That's fair.
And I was like, thank you. Thank you for listening to me.
Excellent. Hi, Gary. Gary has joined us. Welcome, welcome. This evening we are painting orcs for Orctober from the Epic Encounters box. I'll hold it there. Hall of the Orc King from Steam Forged Games. So this one's a great box. It's got 20 miniatures in it. All of them awesome orcs. Should I read another story?
I think you should. I think it's time.
It's time. Story time.
Yes.
So I read a story of the pit. Let's read it. Story time. Story. Okay. The fighting pit. Tests of strength, of courage, and stupidity are the most common form of entertainment for orcs, though this is more serious than the good-natured battles going on around the table. Only those who have offended the Orc King with their cowardice are made to fight to the death. Such contests result in one winner, one who is redeemed in the King's eyes and free to return to the ranks, and one loser, whose body is left to rot. A particularly brutal fight is ongoing between two Grimfang Orc gladiators, while the player characters are in the hall. Blood and the sounds of blades clanging against each other and nicking at confused flesh carry even over the baying and drunken singing of the orcs. The Orc King and his bodyguards at the top table are deeply engaged in watching the fight. The bodyguards cheer encouragement, and even the king nods from time to time, pleased at a particularly good blow. Any player character who takes damage within 5 feet of the fighting pit must make a dexterity saving throw or be knocked in. I have a feeling that in this adventure there's lots of falling into stuff.
Yeah.
Pit, the cauldron. It sounds dangerous. The fall inflicts standard bludgeoning damage. The ice is pretty unpleasant to fall onto. The two gladiators immediately cease to care about fighting each other and focus on any player character swinging wildly and trying to drag them to the ground so they can deliver the killing blow. Clambering out of the pit requires a dexterity or strength check. The sides of the pit are sheer and slippery. Any character wearing heavy armor makes this dexterity or strength check at disadvantage. Here endeth the lesson. So, it sounds a little bit scary. I don't think we'd want to get too close to that pit.
I don't know.
No? You think you'd be okay with that?
Sounds like just being at a HEMA tournament.
All right.
It's kind of cool because there seems like there's multiple things for your adventurers to encounter while you're in the Hall of the Orc King.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, you wouldn't have to go to all of them, but there's many.
Yeah.
Like, you could spend a while down there.
You definitely could. I think they're sort of set up for kind of like an evening's adventure.
Nice.
So because it's well, this one you might be able to spin it out into two. But in the box you get there's a map, and there's also a smaller version of the map here. So this is like the King's Hall, and I think number 3 there is the fighting pit. And number 7 is the top table, and yeah, there we go. Number 5 is the cauldron that we read about before. So everything's sort of going on in that area. Eventually, you get to fight everybody. They just keep coming in waves. Definitely a cool setup. Gary said, I always thought it was Orctober. If you've got plenty of ogres to paint, it could be. It could be. But yeah, I think we're just going with Orctober this week because of Ashland's mini.
Yep.
It is there. And I just realised
What did you just realize, Dave?
the time isn't on the monitor anymore.
Oh.
But
Is it bigger?
Hmm?
Is the text larger?
Yeah, the text is a little bit bigger,
Just a little.
so we can both see it really well now.
Okay.
Can Gretchen see really well?
I can read it.
Yep. Excellent. So that's definitely good. But Just noticed that it is 7:58.
Is it time for some minis?
Time for some minis, I think. Does that sound all right, Leona? Should we check out some minis?
For those not in the studio, I was singing.
Yes.
Yes, it is time to look at some minis.
Excellent.
Grab these from the Painting Happy Little Minis Facebook group. Tell your friends to join if they like mini painting. It's a good time. We have some lovely conversations.
We've had quite a few new folks join recently,
Yes.
which is great. And we are up over 2,000 people in that group.
And we also, what's the word? People have been posting up some really cool Halloween spooky projects.
Miniatures. Yeah. Definitely. There's
I've been really enjoying them. So,
some great stuff.
for those watching, what you see here isn't all that's being posted in the group. So
Yeah.
make sure you tune in. It's super fun.
Definitely make sure you go and check it out. Check it out. Sorry, I just wanted to get a little bit of the green on the orc. But we've got Ashland's Grenadier Orc Leader, which is very cool.
Very nice.
Yeah. I think when Ashland originally posted this, she was wondering about the colors.
I think they look great.
Yep, I think they do. It might have been the photography on the others, but I'm really liking this guy. I think the red, again, great choice of color on the robes there, or his shirt, tunic kind of thing. That red is kind of what we're all throwing in there against the green.
Think,
Yeah. But no, definitely looking good. I think I really like the shield as well. That it's still got the warm tone, but it's lots of damage to it. That the brown there and that sort of yellow design on there just helps give it some extra depth. But looking very cool. Nice work. Excellent. Good stuff, Ashlyn. Ooh, yes. Chris Gorka painted up Marshcrawler Slogoth.
ooh.
So this is from the Cruel Boys, so the new orcs from Age of Sigmar. There are a bunch of orcs who will end up in that howdah on the back. But yeah, I think Chris done a really great treatment here on the skin of that Slogoth. And the model itself is really creepy.
I think the choice in skin next to those really bright mushrooms,
Yep.
just like makes it look more realistic.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because it's
Yep.
next to something so bright and colorful. Like, also looks like something that would be, you wouldn't notice it at first. Like, I feel like it could hide really well in the elements with
Right.
its.
Yep. So just sort of hunch down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think like Chris's desaturated tones on that flesh are great. There's a little bit of purple, a little bit of grey. Looking really good. I think on this post I pointed out that the head on that model is I think it's my least favorite head of all the Cruel Boy stuff. But Chris has done a great job on it. Yeah. Looks very nice. And yes, those yellow-green mushrooms are amazing. Nice work, Chris. Excellent. Gavin Williams has penned up Hounds of Terror. He's penned up a Terminator squad. I wonder if Gavin was painting these while we were painting Terminators the other week, Leona. Maybe.
I wonder.
Or maybe not. Maybe just have these on the go already. But they are looking very cool. I like that sort of deep blue-grey. Yeah, looking very very good. And that's just a very nice sort of crisp white on that shoulder pad, and great depth in the helmets as well. Nice work, Gavin. They look great. Just the basing to go. Oh, Jason Cambria has started on some orcs. Huzzah!
Excellent.
Yeah. These look quite cool.
Like kind of that bluish green.
Yep. Yeah, that is good. I wonder where these are from. I don't recognize them. They've got a quite a sort of feral, savage look, but they're beefier than the Cruel Boys and not as sway-backed as the Savage Orcs from Games Workshop. So it's a very different look.
Very solid sculpt.
Yep. No, they look great. And I think, the highlighting on the thigh, like the knee and thigh of the guy on the left there, looking very neat. Picking out those muscle tones there. Yep, nice work, Jason. They're looking great. Josh, painting some hotel room Iron Warriors. Excellent. Hotel room Iron Warriors are best Iron Warriors. But no, again, lots and lots of trim here. It looks like you're going for like a brassy look rather than a completely gold look there, Josh.
If they're iron, is it rust?
What's that?
Said if it's iron, is it rust?
Is it rust? Oh, is it rusty? Like cultivated rust on the... That might be. It could be. But no, looking good. I think, I'm guessing black or bone is going to be your next step on those. They're very cool. I like that you created a little backdrop with the sort of the Wi-Fi password. For the, but it's not there. It's not on the tag, but it's like...
It's good backdrop.
Good work, Josh. Nice one. Oh, JT completed the Scarab Occult Terminators. I was teasing JT mercilessly during this process because of all the gold trim. So much gold. But these are looking fantastic. I'm particularly loving the gold trim work that you've done on the like the tabards, the white tabards or loincloths or whatever the. Just dropping some brushes. The long pieces of cloth there. Let's pick those up. Yeah, looking very good. I think it looks quite cool. And I think the choice of using the white on the missiles on the missile rack there, also very good. Keeps, if you got that miniature, the focus directed at the head. Yep, nice work, JT. They look great.
We can go with tabards.
We can go with tabards? Yeah, let's go with tabards. But I'm focused on what are they called? But no, Kelly has done fantastic work on Flamencia.
So I think this is my favorite mini.
Your favorite
of
from
tonight.
this week?
Yeah, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I know we're not supposed to pick favorites, but I can pick favorites.
Cool. Yeah, I think Kelly's done a great job here on the all of it. It all looks great. That flesh tone is really nice, the shading is very nice and subtle. Here's a little bit of a translucent, like the translucent skin feel. Not completely translucent skin, but it has that skin has that thing where you can see underneath. Not completely, but it's tinted by what's
like
underneath.
Skin.
Yeah, it does look like skin. There we go. And that the flame looks great as well, Kelly. Did a great job there. Excellent work. Nice one. Kelsey is working on the Stormcast Eternals army. That's very cool. I think it's one of the new Stormcast Eternals models. Doing a superhero landing pose with a sword and hammer. It's like killed them all. But no, looking very good. That gold, in particular on the the knee pad. The gold with the lightning bolt, and then the blue and it looks like blue and red. I wonder if that's a little Grateful Dead nod. But no, looking very cool. Nice work, Kelsey. Come along great. Oh, Michael Doe worked on Just for Fun pre-Halloween display of Orcs, the Pumpkin Boys. Yep, that's very cool. So Orctober and Halloween all together. Good job. And I love that you've done the squig there at the front, like a pumpkin as well.
I know.
Wow.
It's so good.
My one thought though is that on the teeth, I've got the like orange sort of towards the gums and white towards the ends of the teeth.
Like little candy corns.
But yeah, I was thinking like a little stripe of yellow around there. Yep, would definitely just scream candy corn.
Now I want to paint a pumpkin,
Right.
like how he painted.
Ah,
Yep.
yeah,
Squid.
that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yep, that'd be good. But yep, definitely Michael looking very cool. Nice work. Mick Allen has painted a load of 28mm Viet Cong for a friend. So these are looking very cool. And I particularly love your basing on these. The texture that you've got on there underneath those tufts has a very sort of forest floor, like jungle floor kind of feel. With like, where you get a lot of larger leaves falling.
Yeah.
You get that, like, just lots and lots of overlapping
Very
falling leaves.
textured.
Yeah, great sort of texture on there, and I think that just works perfectly. But yeah, these look very cool. What I wonder what rule set you're using for those, like, or your friend is using. But oh, nice stuff. Yeah, Jungle Warfare can be a lot of fun to play out on the tabletop. All right. Nice work, Mick. That looked great. Oh, here we go. Sean has painted up his Hobbit dwarf goat riders. Are now finished.
I feel like a goat would be such a fun battle steed.
Fun battle scene with dwarf goat riders.
Yes. Not just because I love goats. Partially because I love goats, but partially because I just like to see them in battle. Like, they just be so
Bouncing
cool.
around.
Yeah, and then also like headbutting things.
Right.
I feel like they would be just a fun steed.
Yep, they would knock down a lot of things. I think my favorite thing with these is those horns are almost as big as the dwarves. But,
All the better.
Yeah. But no, definitely great work on those horns there, Sean. I think that one on the left, I love the shading and the highlighting on those horns. Really nice work. Yeah. And I love the little bit of blue thrown into the grey for the rocks on the basing. Looking nice. Great work, Sean. Very cool. JT said probably my fave too, so that's going back to Kelly's mini. Then he says, Leona, I'm flattered, thank you. So, very cool. And Betsy said, they're going to have a bad time. Thanks, Betsy.
Thank you for making Dave say that.
Bad
Thank you.
time.
I'm laughing a lot. That's amazing.
And then we come on to Simon Testa, who's painted up this ghoul from the Grimwatch set for Warhammer Underworlds. But yeah, this was looking absolutely fantastic. Love that pale, disgusting skin with that sort of purplish undertone, and I love around the eyes, just under the eyes there. It's got that bluish purple in there. It just gives it a lot of great depth. around there. And of course the blood on the hands and the around the mouth. If I was going to make a suggestion, Simon, it would be to like pick a spot on that halberd where the left hand would have been holding it, and put like a little bloody handprint.
Ooh, that'd be a fun idea.
I'm not sure exactly where that would be, but I think that'd be cool. I'd just add to that whole feel, because obviously the right hand holding it is covered in blood as well, so probably picked up the halberd after he'd finished devouring whatever it was he'd killed. But yeah, great work. Looks excellent.
And that's it.
And that's it? That's it? Okay. There we go. Maybe I have a little bit of time to get some more green on this guy.
So, Gretchen, what have you painted so far?
I have painted his face, and I have painted his the fur trim, and just basically got down a bunch of base colors as fast as possible. But I painted all of the blending on his face and stuff, so even if I only really get base colors done up on him, I feel like he'll still look more or less complete
Yeah,
at the
no,
end.
that's fair.
Just because his face will be done. But yeah, so I think I'm going to go through, slap on the base colors, and then my real goal here is to dirty up that apron and paint that soup. And I got some glaze medium to put on top of that soup whenever I'm done painting it, so that it's
Cool.
nice and soupy looking.
Yeah. Are you going to go for like a Campbell's tomato soup?
I don't know.
Are you going to go for cream of mushroom?
It has like, it's a boiling.
It has a
kind
stench, Dave.
Pardon?
It has a stench.
It has a stench. So yeah, definitely cream of mushroom then.
Cream of mushroom.
Cream of asparagus. There we go. Over a cream of asparagus soup.
Delightful.
Is that a real soup?
Oh yeah.
It
Is that
could be.
real? I've never
It's a
had
real
that.
soup. We have a tin of it in our cupboard at home.
Oh, no way.
I
Pantry.
would definitely try it. I mean,
Cream of-
asparagus isn't bad.
No,
I
no.
love asparagus, but I don't know if I want cream. Cream and asparagus.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
It's kind of, I think there's any asparagus bits in it. Although I don't think there ain't really many big chunks, but would kind of be a little bit more like boiled asparagus. And boiled asparagus is terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I have to
Always
pass the...
saute your asparagus.
Betsy says, I have to pass a constitution check to continue listening to this conversation.
Fantastic.
That's so good.
Go for it. Let us know how it goes.
Roll a d20. Depending on your class, you're going to get advantage.
My wife recently went to the Outer Banks, North
Ooh.
Carolina.
I love the Outer Banks.
Yeah. It makes it definitely cool. She loves it too. She had to stand in the water at the beach and look out over the ocean, which is her happy place. So that was really
Aw.
good. And she brought back all sorts of cool things for our daughters. And she brought back some pickled asparagus for me. It's actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
One year, I think I mentioned
Critical
it on
fail.
here. One year for Christmas, I filled my then boyfriend, now husband, his. Just in case you want some romantic ideas, that definitely work. But I filled his entire stocking up because we always make fun of how much salt he uses on anything. I bought a bunch of little fancy salts, and I
okay.
filled his entire stocking with little fancy
salts. Nice.
So, Dave, follow-up question.
Yep.
Did you try the pickled asparagus?
He said it was pretty good.
Yeah, I have tried them. They're pretty good.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
I missed that.
So she brought, pickled pardon me, pickled asparagus and pickled okra. The pickled okra was pretty cool too. But the when you pickle things, it's really a lot of it comes down to what pickling brine you're using.
Yep.
And to be honest, the pickled okra, while it had a little bit of a like okra, sometimes gets that slimy kind of texture, so it's really good as a thickener. But it had a great they had great crunch. They also have a they taste a bit like the pickles on a McDonald's burger.
Oh.
So it's kind of interesting, but with a bit more heat.
See, I don't like pickles.
You don't like pickles? Okay.
I
I
love
like pickled things.
pickles.
I just don't like pickles.
I love everything
Okay.
pickled.
Like pickled peppers or onions or like things like that, I am okay with. Kimchi,
Pickled
I will
anything.
eat. I did, like fermented things, pickled things, I am okay with. Just not actual pickles.
Not actual pickles. Okay.
Love the
So you-
smell though.
So you
Right.
don't like cucumbers?
I do like cucumbers.
What?
Cucumbers do not.
No.
No. Do you guys know what fridge pickles are?
No.
No.
Is that where you cut up a cucumber and put it in the pickle juice?
You put it. Yeah, you put it in a so you mix up some like vinegar, white, basically white vinegar with water and some sugar, and you cut up some onions and cucumbers and stick them in a container, all in a big container, and then you just stick it in the fridge,
Oh, nice.
and you can go back to it and replenish it as many times as you like over the summer, and just bring it out. It's a very, very refreshing snack or a side dish or that kind of thing. But I had no idea about fridge pickles until my wife introduced me to them.
See, I thought you meant you eat the pickles from the pickle jar,
Oh, okay.
and then you cut up cucumber and put it in the old pickle juice.
And the old pickle juice.
Because that's my fridge pickle.
Yeah, that's kind of. I don't know what that sounds like.
It's lazy.
Slicey,
It's
did you
good.
say?
Or lazy pickle.
Lazy.
It's a lazy
fridge
man's
pickles.
pickle.
Right.
Speaking of like pickled things and vinegar and cooking, though, I made hot sauce recently, and it's had to sit in the
Ooh.
fridge. Yeah, I used the peppers from my garden, and now
Oh,
I
cool.
finally get to like use it on something. I haven't been able to taste it because you have to let it sit in order for it to be good.
Right.
So that's what we're gonna attempt. And I went apple picking with some friends last weekend, and I'm gonna make some pies.
Nice.
We have.
Amazing.
I'm doing all the fall things.
Wow.
Excellent. That's cool. Yeah, apple pie. Very cool. Very good. Now I want some apple pie.
I know.
This conversation is making me very hungry.
These pretzels are making me thirsty. Yeah. I think I'm having a similar reaction to it, Leona. But, so that's looking pretty bright there on camera,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Bad way?
Pardon?
A bad way?
No, in a good way.
Good way?
Yeah, it's a good way. I like it. It's very different to the sort of desaturated grey that I went with last time. But these faces are very detailed, aren't they?
They really are. I like how his face turned out, though.
I'm enjoying this too.
I'm quite pleased with the face. I don't dislike the other things. I don't think I'm going to get him done. I think I'm going to get paint everywhere.
Okay. But maybe not necessarily completely finished.
But yeah, I don't think he's going to be completely finished.
That's okay.
I think he'll have all the paint down, and there'll be a good idea of where he's supposed to go.
Cool.
But um,
Now I'm going to mix in. So I'm going to slide my palette a little bit. Show you the mix. Or if you can zoom out a little bit, maybe. Is that cool? So I've got some of the Castellan green, some of the Elysian green. I'm going to get a little bit more of that, so it's probably like 40-60. So with that there, and then I'm going to grab a bit of the, that's a big chunk. Just a little bit of the ivory there to mix in. Because the ivory is quite strong. It's got a good opacity to it. So it changes the tone of the green pretty quickly. But now I can just play with that on some of the higher highlights and really flesh out the volumes on this mini.
okay.
Pretty well.
What am I doing for this soup?
For the soup, telling you, cream of asparagus.
Get some grotto slime in there. We can. What color is cream of asparagus?
Well, I would take your the skin color you've got there, just mix a whole bunch of like bone or ivory kind of color into it.
Righty.
Also, I like feeding a cream of asparagus because it seems like a color that the orcs probably wouldn't have. They probably wouldn't be cooking.
Oh, that was a big splurge.
Or he might end up in the cook might be pushed into the pit by the king for daring to serve asparagus in a soup form.
No, that definitely seems like something they might like.
Yeah. Just trying to mix it up, boss.
Like, I feel like they would just smell something and then just throw it in.
Right.
I'll add some little orange flecks and whatnot.
Yep. Oh, well, one thing maybe I should read then. You mentioned the improvised weapons before.
Oh.
So you roll a d4 to find out what your improvised weapon is, or what the orc chef's improvised weapon is. So it could be, if you roll a 1, it's an eel corpse. Orc seizes a long, sinuous eel and uses it like a whip. The eel corpse does standard slashing damage.
That's amazing.
2 is throw me a bone. The orc snatches up a long, sharpened bone and hurls it like a javelin. It does standard piercing damage. 3 is manticore quills. Grabbing a fistful of long, sharp spines, the orc hurls them like darts. 1d4 piercing damage. Or a yeti leg. Yeti leg. Grasping a huge paw, the orc hefts a vast limb and brings it down on your head. Yeti leg does D10 bludgeoning damage. And is heavy and two-handed. I'm not sure if any of those help you with inspiration
Well, it's teeny.
for the pot.
Put the paint on thick so that I could see some swirls in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a cool idea.
A little bit of bloody red. That sounds like something good for pot-o things. Let's see.
got all these crystals over here. I have a feeling that they're supposed to be like ice crystals, based on the text. But I'm probably not going to... I might paint them blue, but I don't think I'll paint them like ice. What color do you think I should do them? To see all those black, jagged areas? What do you think?
I don't know.
So they're supposed to be ice crystals?
I think so. I think from the sounds of it's a very cold area, and the orcs that have lived there for a long time have started to
Become
turn to
ice
ice.
orcs.
Yeah. So this is somebody who'd be avoiding the cauldron area. But, yeah, it's looking pretty neat.
And so you do or don't want to paint them?
I mean, I'm happy to, but I'm also thinking that maybe I should try something different.
Time to try out those gems.
Pardon?
Crystals.
Oh. Oh, Betsy said critical fail. Be right back. I said it. Pickled asparagus, especially spicy pickled asparagus, is awesome. Yep. Definitely good. Should I just do it? Should I just go with the blue?
Just do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Okay. I'm pretty happy with how that skin turned out. Oh, hang on a second. I'm going to paint. There's some scars on here. So I'm just going to paint those with a slightly lighter mix there. Mix of that flesh color and the ivory. Then come back and do a little glaze over it.
I'm gonna let that dry because that will take a long time to dry, but it'll look really cool.
How's that the?
I did some swirlies in the
The fanny soup?
yeah, in the fanny soup. It's blurry. It's not just my eyeglasses.
All right.
But
I think Leona is messing with you.
But yeah, I added some swirlies in there
Cool.
to kind of make it look interesting.
Nice.
And like a terrifying conglomerate of different items. And yeah, we'll make that in particular definitely glazed.
Right.
And probably the meat, but I'm not going to focus on the meat. That's just going to have a little slop of paint for now. I'm going to try to get all the different silvers going. And then clean everything up if we have time.
Cool.
And probably distress some of these metallics to be a little darker.
Right. A bit too vibrant?
A little bit, but they won't be if I put some black over
Oh, yeah.
them.
Which is fine.
But for now, I'm just going to focus on trying to get everything where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
And then go back and clean it all up if we have time. And if we don't have time, then this will be like this cook values cleanliness.
Okay.
With that clean apron, gleaming
utensils?
yeah, gleaming metals. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And he'll just be a work in progress when he gets his picture taken.
Sounds like a plan. So just jumping in with some deep Prussian blue, I think it is. Dark Prussian blue from Vallejo. So I get a base coat on there, and then I'll highlight them up with some ultramarine blue, and then I'll mix some white into there. And when the final highlights of white go on, they'll be kind of along the sharp edges of the crystals. Give it a little bit of extra depth. Of course, you can always do these as like bony protuberances. But mainly I said that so I could say the word protuberance. Yep. I think I might need to make these nice and light. Because at the moment, the red and the green both working kind of as the lightest tones on there.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a lot brighter than or lighter than the metal. So I think if I make sure that these crystals are very light, the skin and the red can go back to being those midtones. In the scheme.
Are the
Yeah, that
blue,
worked pretty well.
Dave, are the blue and the red your midtones?
Pardon? Are the blue and the red the midtones?
Yeah.
At the moment, the blue is definitely darker than the red. At the moment, the lightest thing on there is the green, by far. And if I wanted to keep that as the lightest thing, I could probably I wouldn't do a lot of highlighting on the crystals. I'd maybe just do some edge with a very pale blue. So I'd keep them mostly, like, fairly predominantly dark. But I think I will make these like quite a lot lighter. And so they'll end up being the lightest thing on him, which will then sort of push the green back towards that mid-tone. And I think, so the wrappings around his feet and his belts here would probably end up being black. So they'll be the darkest area, darkest sort of tone on it, which will help, particularly from the back there, to sort of ground it. So the darker areas would be down here, but the brighter areas are up towards the top.
Okay.
So that you don't, it just gives you a nice sort of area if you're expecting like light falling from above. Without having to do too much sort of shading down of anything. But you can see on the toes down there, I haven't taken the highlighting up as far on those.
Right.
Mainly because, so to give that, they are in shadow, but it also sort of accentuates that impression and keeps the attention sort of focused up around here. You should probably go back and do a little bit of glazing on the hands and just reduce sort of how light they are. But yeah, we'll see how much time we end up with.
I feel like there's one thing the show does force me to be, and that is a very quick painter.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'm becoming really good at speed painting minis.
Yeah. Yeah, speed painting is an art for sure. Definitely
Actually,
very
I
good.
really like speed painting in general as an exercise because I think it makes you less concerned overall. It makes your brain like you have to make decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. And it shows you what the important elements are. So whether it's like drawing or 2D painting or miniature painting, it can really give you a good sense of where the important elements are. One thing I'll suggest, some folks might have seen it already, some folks might not have, but there's a guy called, it's in Scandinavia, called Squidmar. I say guy. His name, I don't think his name actually is Squidmar, but his YouTube channel is Squidmar. And he does a lot of great videos, great painting videos.
Oh yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah. They all have a sort of particular focus, but he did something fairly recently, which was he did like a 10-minute, 1 hour, 3 hours. Was that it? Something
Yeah,
like that.
there's a challenge going around a while back online where artists would do a variation of that where it was like an hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes.
Right.
And
Yep.
it was with like quick sketching.
Yep. Yep. Definitely worth checking that sort of thing out. But some of the stuff that they did when they were he and his friend were working on the minis was they didn't sort of choose all 28mm miniatures. Some of them were much larger creatures. I think there was a dragon in there, or a dragon type monster in amongst there. But there are a couple of very interesting choices that they made to help speed things up. There was one model that had like so much gold trim and filigree and that kind of thing. Normally, if you had painted it to follow the artwork on the box, but he only had like an hour to paint it. So rather than painting it like the artwork on the box, he gave it like a nighttime scene, standing near a fire. So airbrush it with like purples and blues from one side and oranges and reds from the other, and then just picked out some of the edging. I was like, that's a very clever way to paint that complicated miniature in a very short period of time.
It really is. That's really clever.
Yep. Definitely neat stuff, but well worth checking out. There we go. So you can see those crystals are starting to look a lot lighter now. Probably at the moment they're probably about the same sort of value as the skin. Maybe a little bit lighter in some areas, but when I hit them on the edges with a white highlight, it should really, that final push. I almost thought, I'll just paint the front. I only need to paint the front, right? But then I realized it's going on the spinner, so you will see the back.
There's no cheating, Dave.
I can't cheat. Curses. Of course, if I was putting this guy in a diorama, I could put him towards the back, and I wouldn't have to paint the back of the model. But
I definitely have paint on everything.
cool.
And his face will look nice. That I might see if I have enough time to make that chicken look nice as well, because it's looking a little sad right now. I
What's
don't
looking
know
sad?
if it looks undercooked. It looks a little bit like ham, like bologna ham.
Oh, up on the shoulder, up on the horns on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just like, go put some color on this. Ooh, that's not the best color for that.
It might be spiral cut ham. So we can just peel it off.
Maloney. Dirty up that apron a little bit if I can get to it in time. That's something quick I can do though.
Right. Now, all these crystals don't have, they're not sort of super sharp edges, so unfortunately I can't turn my brush and run it along those edges, so I'm just going to paint some of them in.
As I am painting this big thing silver, I'm realizing that it has wood grain in it.
On the shoulder or the
big knife thing.
The cleaver?
The cleaver, yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Is it just like
Not the cleaver.
Oh,
This,
okay.
this whatever that is.
the meat saw.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Yeah, quite strange.
Either that or it's been used many, many times.
Right.
Alrighty. Well, everything has
There we
paint
go.
on it. So
Good work. I didn't get paint on all of mine, so that's fine.
maybe I have like 15 minutes.
Okay.
That's not a bad. I'm gonna get some glazed medium on that soup and then see if I can salvage those hunks of meat,
The hunks of meat, the shoulder meat.
the shoulder meat.
I think you can do
See
it.
if I can make them a little bit more appetizing.
Well, appetizing for us or appetizing for an orc?
I know, whichever, whatever.
Is that kind of one of those things where, like, if we look at it at the end and go, "Oh, that doesn't look appetizing," we go, "Well, I didn't do it for you, Dave. I mean, appetizing for an orc."
I feel like any kind of meat is good for an orc.
Oh, there we go. JT says his name is ML. His channel is great. Lots of super useful tutorials, for sure. Oh, James has arrived. James, definitely late. But we were a little late starting. But so we apologize for that.
See what's
But,
in here that can be tastier.
You'll only know that when you go back and watch the video tomorrow. But thanks for joining us. Hope your week has been good. Just a reminder to everybody, we are painting orcs from the Hall of the Orc King Epic Encounters box from Steamforged Games, which looks very cool. They've got we've done some painting from that before, but they have a whole bunch of boxes that are out, and the next one is the one that Gretchen's going to work on at some point.
Snake!
The what's this one called? The Temple of the Snake God, which has got a really sweet huge snake in there. So that will be very nice. There you go. How are they looking? Looking a lot brighter.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to take a second to thin down some of this blood red and burnt red. Just mix it a little bit. Thin it down to a kind of a glazed consistency. I'm going to glaze it over the. Maybe I see some of those scratches that I've done. These ones are actually all they're wounds that were sculpted onto the model. But even if you're working with a model that doesn't have them sculpted on, you can just paint them on quickly. It gives a little bit of extra depth to it all. But just by putting light glaze of that red mix over there, give that those scars start to look a little bit fresh. So across the model, if you've got a whole bunch of them, you could do a variety of tones on them. You could do very fresh scars. You could leave some old scars. That would just be the lightest shade there. Or if you want to do one that was really fresh, you can not work so much with the glaze, but just paint in the red there. That was pretty neat. You did a little bit of glazing around the face, didn't you?
I did.
With the
I totally got a little boop of red on his face where it wasn't supposed to go, but that's
what was that? Sorry.
that's fine. So, I said I got a little bit of red on his face where it wasn't supposed to go,
Oh, okay.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's fixable.
Cool. There we go. Now. So he has a little nose ring. There. I'm going to go with with red for the eyes. You painted the eyes? Did you go for red?
I did
red
not.
eyes?
He has his eyebrows down way low.
Okay. So he's concentrating super hard.
He does. He is.
Okay. And there we go. Oh, have some out. Ooh, what am I going to do? That's what I needed. A little bit of beige brown. I figure if I've got the opportunity to finish his face, I should probably do that. A little bit of the beige brown, some ivory. I can paint these tusks. At which point do they stop being teeth and become tusks?
I think when they actually emerge
Like
from the mouth.
jut from the mouth? Okay. And I guess there are only fangs if they're like canines. Maybe.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
Let's go with that. Let's put that forward, that suggestion. But it's supposed to be one of those cases where, like, how is it? All tusks are teeth, but not all teeth are tusks.
True.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We go with that one.
I think that's true.
Cool. So add a little bit of ivory here to the tusks. Maybe a little bit more to the green. And just add some extra highlights to the face.
Speed round, speed round.
Just want to have that look quite bright up the top there. Yep, there we go. It's working. So, there we go. Yeah, went pretty good. It will pass. And of course, we've gone quiet because we have
He's like
5
trying
minutes.
so hard.
final 5.
And,
There we go.
touch
Oh.
this up so it's slightly less
Yeah.
slightly less sloppy. Now splatter some blood.
Some blood. I
My
guess that'd
apron.
be important. Yeah.
If he's butchering stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's all good.
So
I'm going to also take this opportunity to say I'm super excited because a friend of mine has booked a theater for later in the month, movie theater, to go and see Dune.
You booked the whole theater?
Yeah. It's one of those things they've started doing in like since reopening over since COVID, where you book a theater. I think this particular one we got it for like $200. Almost there.
I'm gonna see Dune towards the end of the month.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I think the second weekend it's out.
Okay.
Not the first, but the second.
Because
I'm very excited.
You want to avoid the rush.
I'm out of town actually.
Okay.
The first weekend it comes out, and my brother wanted to see it with me. So.
All right. That's
Because my brother and I have read the book.
right.
So.
Cool.
And then like the
So-
hype will die down a little bit, I think.
Yeah. But what you're saying is you don't want me to spoil it for you.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm telling you now. Don't spoil.
No spoiling.
You can tell me if the main character does a good job. The main actor. If Paul is good.
If
You can
Paul is
tell
good.
me.
If Timothy Chalamet
Yeah.
is good, I can. I will let you know.
And you could tell me a lot. I'm not one of those people that...
Is it really spoilers if you've read all the books?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've read the book.
Not really.
Don't you know what happens?
Your face. It's so real.
Yep.
Just say I'm a little confused.
No, I mean, that's real.
Yep.
That's real. It's not spoilers. Dave can tell me anything. In general, I don't mind spoilers.
Right.
I usually spoil things for myself anyway. Like I'll read the Wikipedia
All right.
before I even go to the movie, which really bugs some people.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, Ashlyn says, I can't wait for Ghostbusters.
The trailer that they did for Ghostbusters was really quite cool. It was just like, I thought it was fantastic the way they built it up, and then when the sound of like the siren kind of from Ecto 1 started, it was just like chills. Just thinking about it now, it's like ooh, getting chills.
All right, I dirtied
So
him
well
up.
done. You dirtied him up?
I dirtied him up.
Excellent.
Is your guide ready for the spinner, Gretchen?
Yeah, there's only 1 minute. I was like, I might be able to darken up some of the metals on him. No.
Nope.
There's 1 minute, so he just takes really good care of the metals.
Of the metals?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm almost done. I got a little bits here and there.
But as a whole, I think it looks fine.
Cool.
As a whole, I'm like, yeah, it's not too bad.
Oh,
it's
I like
not
the
too
blood.
shabby.
I like the blood splatter.
Yeah. I like how it looks with his apron. I feel like the apron and the soup is like the main jam for this. The soup looks a little washed out, but I promise there's colors in there. You can kind
Yeah,
of
let
see
me
little
try
shadows.
Okay.
That made it worse. If I put it really dark, you'll see it. And then I'll brighten it back up.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go. Asparagus soup.
Soup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that soup does look great. It's like a chicken noodle soup, I think.
It's slightly more snot green in real
Yeah.
life.
Was it like chicken soup for the orc soul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he has to warm up all of his buddies who have ice crystals growing out of them.
That definitely needs some help there. But no, I think it turned out great.
Yeah.
It looks really nice. I love that the highlighting across the buckler that is his belt buckle. Did a great job there. I'm pretty happy with how he turned out. I think if I was to match the blood splatters, I'd go with someone that flail that he's got.
Yeah.
But yeah, it worked out well. And I do like that green. I'd be tempted to paint a whole army of orcs in that green. Cool.
Dave, hi, and good night.
Yes.
It is the end
Yep.
of our show.
Thank you very much for joining us,
you.
everybody. And see you one more time. Epic Encounters.
I'm so excited for whenever we get to paint the snake.
Temple of the Snake Dog.
I have us painting the snake November 4th.
November
November
4th. Remember that.
Yep.
Yep. Here it is.
Next week we're gonna paint Warhammer Age of Sigmar Seraphon models.
Seraphon models, some lizard men.
Ooh.
Yes.
More reptiles.
Yep.
In
Yeah.
This, yeah.
And you can do some fun dinosaur coloring.
I could do some fun dinosaur coloring. That is true.
Should
I'll
definitely
have
do
to
that.
think about that.
Yep. Plan ahead.
For once. Maybe. Probably
Maybe.
won't. Just gonna wing it. But that's okay.
Make it up as we go along. We all do.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week on Thursday.
Bye.
Do I